All right, I have a tag and I am finally going to do it. It is the Unpopular Opinions book tag. I was tagged by Kim at K. Becker's Books. If you have not been to her channel, please do yourself a favor and go there. Number one, she is the most hilarious person. She will make you laugh all day long, whether you are just following her booktube videos or you're doing a buddy read or something with her through Voxer. Hilarious, makes me smile every single day. And secondly, she does a really great job discussing books. She has a lot of really in-depth insights into the books she reads and describes them very well, whether she loved them or hated them. So the first question is a popular book that everyone loved and you hated. I've said this before, but I hate Untamed by Glennon Doyle. It's not that the content is bad. The content is great. I believe in everything that she says in the book, but the problem is that she seems to just be like a child that wants to have everyone look at her, and like she's like, I just feel like she's doing this little dance to be seen. And basically every sentence in her book could be a quote by itself, and I just feel like she's kind of like showing off, and I don't know, it's not well written. It's just showing off, and I just really dislike it. The second book was a book that I loved that everyone else hated, and I thought for so long, and I could not think of one that everyone hated. I can think of some that certain booktubers ask me about why I love certain books, but they are the minority in that case because everyone else does love it and they're the ones who don't. So I just decided to pick a book that I love that I don't feel a lot of people have heard of or read. It's kind of underappreciated, and that book is Underground by Will Hunt. So it's not that everyone hated this, it's just I don't feel enough people have read it. It is so great. So Will Hunt talks about different underground situations. He became fascinated with underground and what is beneath us when he was like a kid, I think probably in high school. He lived by a train station, and he would always just like explore the tunnels of the subway with his friends, and they would go to stations that are not actually active stations anymore, but they used to be, and they would find them, and they would like ride the train and see where there were like cutouts in the walls of the subway, and then they would go under and try and find them. So that's what became really interesting to him. And then this whole book is about other experiences he has had with the underground. Let me go to some of the chapters. So he talks about like the tunnels under France. He talks about burrowers. I believe this is the chapter where he talks about this guy who like digs holes, and he started by building a wine cellar in under his house in England, and he just never stopped digging. So it was kind of like an ant colony or something where there's just all these tunnels under the ground, and finally his home ended up collapsing because of all these tunnels. So this is all different stories about the underground, and I just found it so interesting. I love random nonfiction like this, just interesting stories that I might not hear otherwise. Question 3, a love triangle where the main character ended up with someone that you didn't want them to. This is not so much a love triangle, but the only thing I can think of is Pride and Prejudice. I do not like Mr. Darcy. Question number 4, a popular book genre you hardly ever read, romance, which is because I think that I typically read old lady romance, and things are not described the way I would describe them, and they just make me laugh instead of... Okay, question 5, a popular character you do not like, Mr. Darcy. Question 6, a popular author you just can't get into. It's Leanne Moriarty. She's the one that wrote Big Little Lies and all those other kind of like affluent housewife sort of books. I cannot get into them. There's so much drama, like girl drama in there, and like that is junior high. You are an adult. You do not have to be a mean girl anymore, and I just found that not funny, not interesting, and just plain mean. So I don't like those books. Question 7. A popular book trope you are tired of seeing. I could not think of one. I could think of an author. Okay, so let me tell you, I adore Anne Patchett with every ounce of my being. She is definitely one of my favorite authors. I have met her dog. I have met her. I have been to her bookstore twice. I have been, when I met her, we were in Petoskey. Adore her. Her books are amazing. I could rave about them forever. But I was very disappointed with her last book, which was on the list for maybe the Pulitzer, like a bunch of lists for book prizes. The Dutch House. This book, oh, okay. So it's common for an author when they are first starting to write that their first novel is very, very autobiographical. And Patchett, I did not feel did that. However, now that she is becoming a bit older, she has shared this for real with the book that came before this, that she is writing autobiographical now. And so she already did that with this one, Commonwealth. Okay, this was really autobiographical. She admits it. Okay. But then she wrote The Dutch House, which is even more autobiographical. And there are like legit passages in here where I was like, yep, well, that's Anne Patchett. Yep, that's Anne Patchett. Like she was talking about, there were names dropped in here where she used names of people that I know. She was talking about the owners of McLean and Eakin, which is a bookstore in Petoskey where I met her. Their names are in here. She talks about grilled cheese, which she loves, although I think she's a vegan now. She talks about taking baths and eating grilled cheese. I mean, okay, maybe I know her too well, but I did not like this book because I just felt like Anne Patchett. Anne Patchett. Yep, Anne Patchett. Anne Patchett. Like, it was so soaked in her that it wasn't fiction, and I did not love it. Number 8, a book or series you have no interest in reading. And that would be the Game of Thrones books. I think they have technically a different name for the series, but I'm just not really into high fantasy that much, and I'm not really interested in reading those. The other ones I would say also are kind of the Outlander books. I'm not really interested in those. People have said I would love them. I don't know. Number 9, the book is better than the movie. What is a book that you have read and you actually liked the movie better? And for me, it's Little Women. I did not like that book at all. I found it so boring, but I love the 1990 something version of it. I watch it almost every Christmas. It's just like a good holiday movie. And then I also watched the newest one in theaters last year when my book club read the book and then we saw the movie. And I also enjoyed that one. I liked the old version of it better. But the book, sorry. Okay, question 10, tag someone. I am tagging Doris from Aldi Books. I adore her. I feel like we have so much in common with both being teachers and enjoying nature. And yeah, she's the coolest. And then I'm gonna tag Kelly from Books I'm Not Reading because I'm interested what she would say about this. And finally, Lori from Winsong Reads. She is in my read-along that I'm doing, these Truce read-along. And yeah, she's really fun to chat with, and I'm curious what she would say about some of these questions. If I did not tag you and you're interested in doing this, you totally should. I want to hear what everyone has to say for these questions. Please don't hate me. I love you. Have a great day. Bye.